Hi, Starfleet Boy here, and you're tuned in to another episode of Star Trek Discovery commentary with PJ and Starfleet Boy, me.
Good job. Good job. Yes, we are back for the series finale of Star Trek, the last episode of all time.
The
No,
last
ju-
episode of all
just the
time.
last two episodes of season 2. Such sweet sorrow.
I think the theme song for this episode and Star Trek Discovery in general is I get knocked down, but I get up again. You
Oh,
ain't ever
God.
gonna keep me down. I'm sure you know
Oh,
that one.
yes, I do. All right, got our episodes queued up. We're gonna do the
Yep, yep,
3-second
yep.
countdown.
Da-da-da-da.
Yeah, I'm gonna exit out of my copy, which is causing us to think we have a viewer or more than one viewer.
Oh, okay, okay.
And it slows down my computer. One time I forgot and it was slowing down, and I was like, oh yeah, I have the other tab open. All right, let's get started.
Let me just make sure I quit mine too, because I tweet from it. Yep, mine is gone. But I
Okay,
did like it before I quit.
3, 2, 1, go. Previously
Woohoo!
on Star Trek
Star Trek
Discovery.
Discovery. Oh, yay. There's this character we forgot about.
People who didn't watch the short treks and they saw this recap, they're like, did I miss an episode?
Yeah, 100%.
Nobody has ever taken a time crystal from the monastery.
Warning, Captain. The present is a veil between blah 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 blah. Ah! Melty face! No! He's so good. And in 1 hour, everyone died in space. This is it, PJ. Here we go, dude.
So easily detectable, those Section 31 ships.
No, nothing happens in this episode, right? It's the next episode. No, I'm just kidding. Lots of stuff happens. I'm gonna full screen all the Enterprise shots. Just telling you right now, audience, in case. Oh, I forgot about this Sarek thing. It's a pretty little lake on Vulcan.
You need that moany kind of choir music, like ah yeah, ah.
Wow, it's very good. What's the deal with
Really?
Vulcan? What's the deal with Vulcan and the moon? Like some people are like Vulcan has no moon. Some people are like Vulcan has like 17 moons or whatever. Amanda's so
uh,
pissed. She's like,
I don't
"Why
know.
am I doing this?"
Michael.
I don't care about any of my other children, Cybok or Spock. Only you, Michael. Oh, the evacuation. Okay, I think the Enterprise is coming up. I'm going full screen. Oh, look at the Enterprise. Why is she so small? Doo-doo. I feel like the Enterprise should have been a little bigger, but c'est la vie. Not bigger than the Discovery, just bigger than it is. It's so pretty.
It's already bigger than it was.
Yeah, it's true. Two, one. Mm. Magic. Magic. It's space magic. I like all this procedural stuff, though. I'm a sucker for it. I
Oh
like
god.
this. Look at this.
Oh
Like how
god.
Pike is sitting in that chair. It's really, he's so elegant.
Spock,
Ugh.
change your clothes already.
Yeah, I know. The dish looks so pretty. I'm glad they used the same like symbol. There's not a delta on it.
Like these monologues do nothing for me. I hate this show so much. No. Um, there are 7 signals, and I am those things.
We're 100% lined up. It's interesting they closed that engineering thing that you normally can see through. Look how goddamn close the Discovery is to the Enterprise. Mm, she's getting cray cray. He's like, "Are you trying to be insubordinate here?"
Who wrote this? Who wrote this episode? I gotta look this up. Did we go to the credits yet? No. Hold on.
The credits are not till 40 minutes into the episode. Just that way.
I remember not liking any of the dialogue in a lot of those 2 episodes. I'm just wondering who wrote it.
It's probably written by Alex Kurtzman, I would, or Michelle Paradise, or someone.
Someone with the lesser talent, I guess. No, I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe it was Michelle Paradise.
That's a crazy way of.
You're
She
right.
like.
It was written by Michelle Paradise and Jenny Lumet and Alex Kurtzman.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that was an educated guess, but wow.
Alex Kurtzman writing things.
Oh wow, it's one of
Oh
those.
God, the poor little guy tries, doesn't he? At least he got 5 shows happening. Of varying quality. Alright, I'll stop now. Hello, Trek on the Tube, Geek and Review, Blue Spurk.
Oh wow, I'm not even in the chat because I'm like obsessed with the Enterprise right now. I love the red.
You're like, screw the chat on this one. I'm watching the episode
Yeah,
full screen.
I'll let the chat. I'll look at the chat right after this. All these Enterprise shots go. Oh, look at everyone wearing.
You need to be one of those techies with 3 screens around you.
I should. Yeah, true. Yeah, look at that. They got a little handle right. Someone should give a timestamp to the folks watching in case they want to
Well, you can give it the
marvel at the
timestamp.
Enterprise. Okay, I'll give the timestamp. Here we go. 7 minutes, 31 seconds, 32, 33, 34, 35. Saru stroking his blade. 37, 38, 39, 40. 7 minutes, 41, 42. Oh, Cornwall was in the chair. It's yours, Chris. Oh, look at this bridge. Now, I would have preferred a more accurate bridge, but I don't hate this bridge.
Welcome home, Captain. Good to be back. Am I in sync?
Yeah, hold on. All major systems are back online, and we'll have no more holographic communications. Ever.
There you go.
Ever, she says.
Lieutenant Amin. Censor show. Captain Giorgio has just arrived, sir. And she rolls her
Yeah.
eyes. We're good?
Yeah,
We're
we're
good?
good.
We're good?
We're
Okay.
good.
Aye, Captain. Okay. Aye, Starfleet Boy.
Look at her. She's so beautiful.
I'm looking for some AI
She's
sausage.
such a disser. She's dissing the Enterprise. Fuck you,
Yum,
Giorgio.
yum. I think after this, I'm going to cook me up some AI sausage. And then I'm going to go yum, yum.
Oh, that's this episode, right? Or the next one?
That's all the same. It's all the same episode. We're doing both.
Eyes front.
When we do disco, we have to watch the first and the last episode of the season back to back first, because that's the first. That's a two-parter.
Oh, that's right.
No, we don't. We don't have to do it like that, but it would be interesting.
Yeah, I don't mind doing that.
5, 4,
One.
2, 1.
Psych. Failure. So who's gonna be in Strange New Worlds, PJ? Is that spiky guy who's supposed to be Colt? I think that's supposed to be Colt. Oh, look at those torpedoes. They look fucking rad. Boom, boom. Nice. I just want to see Enterprise porn. That's what I want. You hear that? Accurate sound for the era. That's not so bad, guys.
Analysis.
It's very Star Trek, and it's very Star Trek.
It's pronounced analyses. No, I'm joking. So timestamp. What is your timestamp? 10:28.
Hang on. Whoa. All right, 10:37, 38, 39, 40.
So Burnham's tripping out now, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And,
She's saying El Futuro. Lots of explosions, rocks flying, Burnham hit her head. This is all the filler stuff because they didn't have material to do 2 episodes. Just kidding. How is no one else able to stop him? And then
I'm having a problem here.
oh, you're you're buffering or something?
No, hold on. Okay, what's happening exactly right now?
He's touching her face, mouth, holding her mouth. He's lifting her up by the jaw, which is pretty brutal.
And is he got the gun to her head now?
Yeah.
Goodbye. Ah.
Goodbye. Yeah. We're synced.
Okay, good.
Why were you having a problem?
No, I don't know. It was a shitty laptop, like I said before. I should have just used my desktop. It's not a shitty laptop. It's just old.
I liked Saru's death scene in that previous scene.
You sound rather certain. You sure we just can't fire everything at it? No, we must get out of this continuity. It bothers the writers. Ergo. Who does he think he is? Ergo. What does he think? He's the architect in the Matrix?
Ergo Proctor Hawk. You were proposing we remove Discovery from the galactic equation entirely. I like that line.
So they didn't know why they had it before now?
Well, they knew they had to destroy it because they thought they could put it in a time loop, but that failed because of Leland, and so then they were going to try to destroy it, and that just failed. And now they're like, okay, well, everything isn't working. Let's just take Discovery to the future.
Even though they could have just tried to blow it up.
I really think they could have blowed it up, blowed it up.
They could have blown it up real good. Gersha Phillips, Jason Zimmerman, John something, Tamara Devrel.
I want to be a producer on Star Trek.
Did you hear about Amazon acquiring MGM?
Yeah,
Wow,
that's
that's big
crazy.
news.
Yeah, it's huge.
Big news. Ba, ba, ba. Shoo. Bum, bum.
Yep, we're still in sync. I love that Pike was gonna be the one. He was like,
I want to be an angel. I want to be like Iron Man. Oh God. I don't know. I don't. I don't. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't. Fucking Red Angel suit. It's such a downer. That that's right, Giorgio. You're right there.
so he's basically saying, when you do time travel, remember to set these signals.
And if you don't, the plot doesn't work. This is the whole her sending the signals and like meeting herself back in episode 2 is supposed to like blow our minds, but it does not. Not mine at least.
I liked it,
I
but I
hate
didn't.
number one's hair, by the way. I love Rebecca Romaine though; she's awesome.
She really is.
But I think they tried to go with a hairdo that doesn't suit her.
Giorgio.
That's a bad one. You know who has the best hair in Discovery?
Pike.
Oh no! Come on, best hair in Discovery?
Not in this episode, but
No, just in general.
then yeah, it's Sonequa Martin Green.
Oh Jesus, no! God no! Tilly.
She has great hair too. She's second in my. I think Sonequa's not here. Like in next season, I like her hair a lot.
Sneak was here in season 3 is the best. Yeah, she looks. Well, she looks good anyway, but she looks really good with the long hair.
Yeah. Cornwall's hair's pretty on fleek right now.
Yes, it's very 2002. I have no
This
idea.
is the
I
stuff
don't
that
know. I
I
don't know
hate.
hairstyles. I
I
just know what I
hate.
like.
I hated all the. Where did they get all the drones and everything? There's literally hundreds that come from the Enterprise.
Mm.
All right, I'm off of full screen now. That is pretty.
Yeah, it was.
The background consoles are huge. Consoles are
Zahia?
huge.
Oh my god, Zahia? I know the queen. I know the queen. Okay, sure, Tilly. You know the queen of a planet. Sure, you fucking crazy psycho. And it's like, no, no. It was in a short trek. You guys didn't see it.
Everyone saw the short trek. Sorry to break it to you, PJ. It's true.
That's
It's
such
true.
that's such wishful thinking.
No, I'm sure. I'm like, ask anyone. We should do a poll. You should make it a mission to ask everyone. Did you watch the short tracks? And they'll be like, yes, I did.
I'm saying the crew didn't see the short trek.
Oh
They
yeah, yeah, yeah.
nobody knows her. Apparently, nobody knows about her encounter with.
Yeah, which is weird.
And you know the. Hey Tilly, what's up with the transporter logs? You were in the transporter room. You beamed an alien off board. It's like, oh no, we don't keep those records. It's a kind of do anything you want ship. That was some kind of funny thing I missed. Quickly.
Which one of these guys is Gene, the hazmat guy? Is he in this episode, do you think, or does he only appear in the next season?
I think it's next season.
Yeah, but I'm sure I'm betting he's an extra. I'll have to look him up. I think that was him. I think we just saw Gene, the hazmat guy. So he's planning on staying behind at this point. Well, how does he end up in the future? I forget.
No,
That makes more
no,
sense.
they all stay behind.
No, they all go to the future. He's thinking of staying behind, but at some point he changes his mind because he was just saying after Michael takes the ship wherever she wants to go, I'm gonna take a break from starships for a while and maybe end up at a star base or something like that. So that's interesting. That maybe explains his anger a little more in season 3 if he didn't plan to go and he ended up there and I missed that.
Yeah, I just can't wait for these 2 episodes to be over. I'm being a dick.
It's your
Like
show.
this is boring. This is boring. Whatever's happening here. I want to see all the cool drones and the 100,000 shuttles.
Audience, get ready. You'll have to deal with PJ's groaning when we get to that part.
We'll get to a good part and I'll start talking good like. Me good at language. It was in the short track. Poe.
Yeah. He was like getting ready like to greet her. He like practiced that for like 30
Yeah,
minutes.
like she's the Queen of England or something. She's like, no, that's not how royalty works on my planet. We're all just cool.
So not only
They try to give her a little bit of a comedic moment there.
yeah. Oh, I love that. Maka. Po.
Uh, uh, I used to know it, like the actual full name when I.
It's interesting that Dodge's boyfriend is also Zahian in Picard.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. They were originally just gonna send the ship through. Okay.
She's very human now. She was a little, remember she started out as like very primal and whatnot.
You think they've been pen pals this whole season, and that's why she's like more human?
Yeah, she's like, I watched that show Friends that you recommended.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I started watching the zombie movie last night, but it was so tired, so I started falling asleep. I'll finish it probably like tomorrow or something.
Army of the Dead. Yeah, it's a strange little film.
Tig was good
Yeah, I
so
like taking
far.
it. She wasn't even there.
Yeah, I was a little like impressed. I was pretty impressed at that. I haven't seen her next to anyone yet in the scenes that pass. They just keep cutting to her, so I'm curious to see how
There's a scene
they'll
where she's
handle
walking
that.
and talking with Batista, and she told Stephen Colbert, she's like, I've never met him,
Hmm.
but you could swear two of them were talking. They blend her in really well.
Hmm. Causing it to Burnham.
But I can't get him back. Damn it. This is the episode that should have been called "Will You Take My Hand?" Because she's like, "Hey crew, sacrifice all your lives and never
That's
seeing
the
your family again to come with me."
yeah.
And they're like, "Excelsior!"
That's the part that confused a lot of people, including myself. If she can only do one time jump, how do they explain all the jumps that she does to set the signals? Do you remember?
Well,
Anyone in the
it,
audience know?
it,
See, she's all like,
I don't,
yeah.
I don't.
There's no. I
So,
don't think there's
so
an explanation.
is the crystal is in her to drag the ship, so she has to open the portal. So by the time she comes back from all of her jumps and then goes to the future, that's when the crystal would be burned out.
Right, I get that. I'm just saying the
No,
dialogue's unclear. Yeah, yeah.
no,
Like,
no. I'm trying to reason it out
yeah,
myself.
yeah, yeah.
if I
You're sussing it out. I get what you're saying. That's pretty much the conclusion I came to too. But I just don't remember there ever being anything that suggested that. I mean,
did
it's so
Tyler get a
dense
haircut?
already. What's that?
Tyler
Oh
get a haircut?
yeah, yeah.
He's like, I gotta get a haircut for the finale. Gotta look good. Yeah, his hair just gets gray. Like by the end of this scene, you can do it before and after. He's like, it's as if like he did a stint as president, and he got really stressed out, and his brown hair turned gray at the end.
It kind of is a stressful situation. All this stuff. If it, you know, I could imagine, especially the crystal showing him his future.
That should have turned his hair white.
Eyes up.
It's been a, oh god,
Mm,
it's no time to argue about time. We don't have the time. I love saying that.
I love
You
you.
you guys are the wind beneath my angel wings, my red angel wings. Culver's like, wow, what a life you've had then. Jesus, greatest moments.
Burnham's greatest hits. Let's do this shit.
Dun 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 dun.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't remember the flowing of energy, the energy flow.
You taught me to be fast and furious and that family is everything.
Poe, you'll also be a character on Star Wars. Well, your name.
What? No. It would have been kind of cool if. Okay, I thought she was like, I'm gonna go to the future with you.
Mm.
Um, my planet is my sister. We were born at the same time or something. I never understood that thing.
I think it. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they believe that every time there's a queen, the planet's reborn or something like that. I don't know. Again, nothing in the story to support any of that, but I don't mind filling in the gaps, but some things you're just like, could you just add a little more to it?
Giorgio really doesn't want to say goodbye. I like that shot.
Yeah, me too. Well, I think PJ, it is very hard to say goodbye to yesterday.
Mm.
How is it that they have time to come see her too? I just think,
Yeah. So,
and then no Vulcans. Like how are they there during this crazy time, but without a fleet? Like they had to have come. They could
you
have
know
been
what?
in the
You
area.
know that's a great point. It's like there's big danger with control. I think it would have been just too expensive to have other like Vulcan ships and other Starfleet
Is
vessels
it
show up.
really expensive? I mean, don't they? I don't know. I feel
No,
like people.
just complicated too. And it's like what we're doing in this episode is complicated. I'm making excuses for them, by the way.
I like it. It's cool that you're like standing for it, but
No, no. I mean, I understand that. Like, if he's gonna go with Amanda and they're facing this thing, like, Jesus, get all the help you can get. You have two goddamn ships against what 30? You know what I mean? It's a good thing they have 100,000 drones and shuttlecraft in their TARDIS they call Starship.
and also like Starfleet doesn't detect like that there's like how does Burnham know that Section 31 checks in every hour, right? So Starfleet itself is like that's the thing. It would have been cool if like they said, well, I know that Discovery is a fugitive ship right now, but Admiral Cornwall's aboard. So I guess to me it wasn't clear that maybe Starfleet sent. It would have been cool if there were Starfleet ships mixed in, just because maybe they were also trying to attack the Enterprise and Discovery, and they could have, Pike could have gotten them to mutiny or whatever. I don't know.
It would have been cool if at the end you see all these ships warp in and they're just copy and paste of Discovery and Enterprise like over and over again. That's a Picard joke
Oh
because they copy and paste all the ships at the end of that
no, I know I
season.
stupidly muted because I'm eating, so I didn't want to be rude and like chew, and I was laughing.
I've come all this way to ask forgiveness. Oh, I forgot the ships. Damn it, sorry, Barnum. I guess you're fucked. That's a good way of like keeping the continuities. Like,
Yeah,
remember, I don't see him until Journey to Babel.
Mabel. Yeah, that's true. Except that one time when he was fucking nuts and he doesn't even remember.
Oh goodness gracious! Oh god, here we go.
Why do these look like those 90s infomercials?
Yeah. Like, do you have erectile dysfunction?
All right, I talked myself out of the weird plot hole I had. So I get it. The Discovery and the Enterprise are renegade ships right now. So that's
Oh
why they
yeah.
can't expect help from Starfleet. And their signals are being jammed or whatever, probably.
I really like when the Enterprise shows up. I think it gets interesting then because it's like our little glimpse into strange new worlds.
It's so close. Hey, Braxton.
Hey, Braxton.
Oh, that's
We
really
were
funny.
almost 35 minutes into this first part, and we will continue on with the second part directly after.
Yep.
As if it were a feature film.
I might need a quick bathroom break, but you can talk while I go.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, sir.
We'll do the
we're
make it
we,
show
we
thing.
won't be
One of us
doing
will
any
talk.
bathroom breaks here.
You see this? PJ's a taskmaster.
But even Burnham's like, you guys have lives and families, and you want to abandon it all to come with me. And they're like, this is the way the writers want it, Burnham. Because we can't have a third season with you alone. we need to get paid for another season as actors. You understand? So this has to happen.
My theory
We don't
was
want
wrong.
we don't want Shazad Latif though. He can stay.
Yeah, he could say. My theory was wrong though. It's a good way to write someone off the show without killing them. Stamets is totally volunteering here, so he changed his mind. That dialogue he had with Hugh didn't mean anything.
And the first part of this episode is a little bit overstuffed. It's too much setup. I mean, it's almost over, and we're still like, the Enterprise is not even there yet. That's what I'm waiting for. Oh, look, like, see, another conversation between them two. They already had this thing where they're saying their last goodbyes when she thought she was going to die in episode 10.
But this time they have to kiss. By the way, we're at 36 minutes, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
She just wants some extra time, and his kiss.
Here we go. No. No.
Romance that doesn't touch my heart in any way.
Yeah, especially after meeting Book. Like, I might have been into this when it first aired, but now I'm just like, don't worry, Burnham.
Yeah, he's like
There's
nothing
something-
compared to Book.
Yeah,
he
true.
really is really true.
Yeah. Don't
Book's
worry,
just
Burnham.
cool all around. He's like
He's so fucking
he's an
cool.
animal rights dude. He's like a humanitarian.
He's a badass
like,
pilot and a smuggler.
and he's like he's a criminal, but like he's like a Robin Hood type of guy.
Some might say he's the best of both worlds. Ha.
He's the best around.
So he sends this message to Serana. They come. I forgot about that.
Serana's like, yeah, since you left me, I kind of just took over the fucking whole damn place. Took all the Baul ships. They're all in cages right now. Shh.
That's why they don't get accepted into the Federation until like way later, like the 31st
They're
century.
like, we can't ignore the centuries of crimes that the Kelpians committed against the Baul after Saru the Devastator ravaged the world.
Saru the Devastator. Oh my gosh, that needs to be a hashtag. Saru the Devastator.
Well, just to note that we will be going back to Kaminar in season 4 and seeing what Saru is doing there. So it would be interesting to know what the relationship is between the Kelpians and the
And the
Baul at
Baul,
that
yeah.
point. I'm looking for Gene, but I can't see him.
Oh, Hazmat Gene? I gotta find
He
him.
comes in later. He's just like one of these like Boimler like ensigns. Like it's all the shit shoveling jobs. This is his sister, right? Yes.
Yeah. So would you, PJ, would you leave everything behind and travel with your crew to the future?
No.
You wouldn't?
No. And I'm sure I would like to know I don't know if they stated at any point, but it can't be all of the Discovery crew that stays. Because you do see that there are people around in the next season.
Father did the math, and I think like 20 people stayed
Left.
in the past.
Oh god.
And like, yeah. Or it was like 20 or 40. Like, I don't know how many exactly, but.
We still don't see that damn chief engineer.
The Enterprise. All right, I'm going full screen again.
I like how the Enterprise looks a bit smaller. It's supposed to. I mean, because Discovery is
I guess the nacelles
It's
make
big for her
Discovery,
time.
yeah, look bigger. Doo-doo-doo-doo.
But I've got my own show now, so see ya. I would have loved this speech to be, I've been the best damn part of this whole season. Without me, you guys wouldn't have lasted a third.
He did save them. He helped them be, um,
And
find
Burnham's,
themselves. Yeah.
and Burnham saves Spock
Yeah, it's cool.
with her sisterly love.
Aw, that got me right in the gut.
Mm.
There aren't words. I love that. It explains why he saves him later.
Okay, see, it's poetic mumbo jumbo when somebody says something like, what you find out in your own heart. Like, oh, come on. What does that mean? Discover your heart. Like, what? He could have just said, Burnham, you're all right. I like two of them together, like, and especially
Yeah.
earlier in the season when.
I like that violin build up music that's playing in the background. It's really nice.
Mm,
It comes to a crescendo in part 2, I think, when she's finally takes off.
crescendo.
Yeah, it's a good word. Yeah, see, so some people do leave. We'll look you up when we get to the future. And cry. Oh, this is nice. It's giving me a little goosebump.
I like that. It's like mad respect.
It is mad respect.
And I love the way he stands in that
I
shot
know.
right there. It's only
Ugh.
ruined with the excessive flare behind him and the haze. Like, give me a clear shot of the motherfucker. You don't have to fucking. They're gonna do a lot of that in Strange New
You know
Worlds.
those lens flares would be like that would have been a meaningful lens flare moment if you didn't have so many in
Yeah.
Star Trek Discovery. Like that could have been a cool. It would have added to the scene, you know.
Mm.
But I guess we're just so
Even in
desensitized.
space, like I never see the full blackness of space when there's things around because they have to have that shine of reflective light off the camera, the fictional camera lens. It's like Jesus Christ, people.
People worked so hard in the 70s and 80s to like make it look so good and like to avoid lens flare and all that stuff because it's just good photography. And like nowadays it's like, oh, make sure the lens is dirty. Let's make sure that
Yeah,
there's like lens flare everywhere.
let's.
Sergei Eisenstein would be rolling in his.
I'm getting dizzy.
Oh yeah, that happened to you last time too.
That this is so cheap. This looks so cheap to me. This kind of camera work and editing. The editing, I can't blame them. They have to string it together. But like the shots in which they have to work with, it's just like spin, 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 spin. Now they slow it down, but it's still happening. It's to create a sense of urgency or something, right? And it just doesn't work for me personally. It's annoying.
Yeah, I wish it was only shaky cam and not shaky spinny cam.
Yeah. It's like, oh my god, what the heck?
Did she just touch it though? She didn't touch it even, right?
No, she got too close to it, I guess.
Uh,
Did she touch it? I can't. I don't know.
Maybe
Whatever.
she touched it. I don't
Who
remember.
cares? Red alert. Red alert.
Here they are, those freaking drones everywhere. You know, instead of having the drones, like it is, I get they have to be in a certain, uncertain coordinates or whatever, but there could have been like space chases and things like that, and only the last part of the battle needed to be like in a still part, but I don't
Oh
know.
look,
Oh,
wink, wink.
oh, what mirror universe? Wink. Oh, look at that. Oh, I didn't remember that. It's a nice wink. Oh, here they are. Oh, Braxton, you're way behind. Yeah, we didn't like that intense family drama either. Well, we didn't care about it. We were just like, why didn't they send help? They should have thrown the dot sevens out there too.
I can't wait to see what they're redesigning. They redesigned this Enterprise, by the way. You know that, right? The Strange New Worlds one is not going to look like this.
Are you sure?
Akiva Goldsman said, "No, now
Oh, right, right, right.
I'm not saying it'll look completely different, but they will tweak it. And I hope to goodness they tone down these like blinding lights. I can just imagine what it's like for the actors on set, just to be like turn around and they get like spots in their eyes for 10 minutes.
Nice. Oh, the next episode's
Uh,
65
I don't
minutes
mind.
long.
And
What?
let me. I don't mind the backlights and things shining in the background. It's just the intensity of it is like a little much. I'm just saying, you know. I'm just
No,
saying,
no.
brah.
Saying brah.
Okay, let me just
Um,
queue up my version. Then you take a break.
all right, I'm gonna go to the restroom. You can see where Braxton is. All right, see ya. I'll be back.
Okay. All right, Starfleet Boy is. We'll be right back, and we will continue on with episode 14, Such Sweet Sorrow, Part 2. Let's take a look at some comments. Earlier, Truck in the Tube said just popped in to smash that like button. Thank you. We're off to have dinner, though, so bye. I think said he was watching Willow tonight. I have not seen Willow yet. I know it's the first film to incorporate digital morphing effects. Blue said, I'm ready for the groaning. Yeah, hopefully not too much. Try to be cool, man. Try to be okay. Try to calm down. A little worked up. Because, I don't know, the last part of season 2 was just, all that control stuff just doesn't interest me as much. But I figured out with this rewatch that I do like the first half of season 2 much more. Just in general. Not to say that there's no good episodes in the latter half. Project Daedalus was good. The Red Angel was decent. Braxton says, I'm at 34 minutes. I'm going to fast forward now. Yes, Braxton's watching it with commercials. Sonequa Martin Green, by the way, is playing LeBron James' wife in Space Jam: A New Legacy, which is basically the WB version of Ready Player One, unless Ready Player One was WB. I don't know, but there's gonna be like the Flintstones in there and Yogi Bear and all the WB stuff. They make references to Game of Thrones. They omitted Pepe Le Pew because of, he got canceled. But yet they have the rapists from A Clockwork Orange in the new Space Jam movie in the crowd watching the game. So it's like, okay, sure. Why didn't you take them out too? I mean, it's weird. You have several different versions of like the Joker in there, and I don't know. Andre the Nerd on YouTube went through every single character he saw in that trailer. I don't know why I'm talking about Space Jam 2. I'm waiting for Starfleet Boy.
I'm here.
Back.
I'm here.
Thank God.
Oh.
I was talking about how Sonequa Martin Green was going to be in Space Jam 2.
Oh, yeah. That hasn't come out yet?
What?
Maybe I'm from the future.
It's like, I thought that came out in 2021. I'm here in 2022. That comes out in July, I think. All right, I'm queued up.
Oh,
do you want to test yours out?
Yeah, hold on. Let me do
sure
this.
It's all good.
Yeah, because it does the pausey thing. Oh, that's lame, Paramount. All right, here we go. All right, I'm ready.
All right. Cue up Such Sweet Sorrow, Part 2.
Part 2, everybody.
And we're going to go in 3, 2, 1, go.
Previously on Star Trek Discovery, Control will not stop coming. Eventually, Leland will find you. Choo choo. I am having a glass of wine, but it's just one. I'm a little probably tired, which accentuates it from working all day. This will never be over. Starfleet Boy will never figure out the full plot.
We have the technical designs. We're in sync, right?
Yeah.
Do it. Once the Enterprise catches up with us, I'll be joining them. I hope that you're happy.
And then there were 5?
Hugh.
Oh, we're not in sync. That's weird.
What?
Hold on. Class M Planet. Zahia? Wait, Zahia? I'm at 56, 57.
Oh, okay. That's strange.
So you want to use the suit to travel
Tilly!
through time.
It's a different recap.
But you're at the same timestamp? Hold on. 1 minute, 10 seconds,
No, okay,
11,
no, okay, no. This
12,
is no.
13.
I'll just wait for the episode to start, and we'll. Cause this is so weird. Yours is different.
That is
I don't know
weird.
what's going on.
The fleet has arrived. Maybe you got the Canadian version. All enemy vessels on their way. Shields up. Prepare for battle. None of that's happening for you? Now. Red alert. Everything's spinning. Battle stations report. Seals at maximum, sir. Weapons armed and ready, Captain. Transmit to all ships. PJ, are you in sync? Are you in sync?
Hold on. Tell me what's happening.
Spock's running.
Okay.
Section 31 is in our way. So many shuttles. Hey, Ruben, you should just listen. Squadrons 3 and 4 will be the front line of defense against Section 31 fleet. Look at where are they all coming from? Look how many of those are there.
Enterprise will maintain fire along the fleet. Is it good?
Yeah. We
As soon as Burnham. We have to keep her safe.
So weird.
All shuttles.
And pods. This is Starfleet.
Why
Get
am
it
I
done.
keep going out of sync with you? Like, it makes no sense. Oh my
That has
god.
no sense.
Okay, listen. Are you pausing or anything?
I've not paused once.
Okay.
They can pause
the
automatically.
The hell, bruh?
This is an exciting scene, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you're missing it.
I'm so over this commentary stuff. Watch me.
Should we? Yeah, that just happened for me a while ago.
What the fuck? Oh, fuck me sideways. Okay.
Does the timestamp not work for you? Or you?
Okay,
like,
no. It's timestamp. Okay. No, that's irrelevant. It's no. Okay, I'm just gonna exit out of here.
Jeez.
It's not working for me.
Should we pause and should we start again?
No,
it's only
you
3
keep going.
minutes.
You keep
Ooh,
going. You
okay.
keep going. We've come this far, Starfleet Boy. We're not gonna give up now. God damn it.
Shnikes! Braxton's birthday's tomorrow.
Happy birthday tomorrow.
You should violate the basic laws of physics, Braxton. Oh, I'm so excited. It's your birthday tomorrow. By the way, PJ, tonight's a full moon.
Oh yeah,
That's
why I'm turning into a werewolf.
A werewolf.
A werewolf. Give me your timestamp.
All right, 1 second. 4 minutes, 40 seconds, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45.
And
oh, that's nice.
Is saying violate the basic laws of physics?
No. The camera was spinning around Saru. You're like way behind.
Oh
Surprise.
my God.
Here, I'll tell you what's going on screen.
Okay, I got it now.
Just,
hold on. Mysterious. Even to the point of...
incoming hail. It's a Klingon, sir.
Okay.
No, sorry, it's... yeah, is that what he said? No, it's someone. Anyway, Saru has his 2 fingers up right now. He's saying, you will see a human face. It is not a human being. And then he just... Am I clear?
Are we clear? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
we're good.
okay. Whew.
Leland's on screen now.
Yes.
We were just talking about you.
Just talking about you. Everybody hates you. Congratulations.
Saru standing up.
Yeah. Starfleet, blah, 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 blah. I order you to surrender your vessels. No terms, no deal. Last warning.
Or you'll be destroyed?
Yeah, we're totally in sync now. You said that exactly. If you said it like, yeah. I don't know why that's so exciting when you get
Now my
when you
hair is
understand.
gray.
This is so lame. This is so lame. It's cool looking, but it's so lame. They look like Jem'Hadar ships there, by the way.
Mm.
Like kind of a Jem'Hadar style, like backwards or something, which I think is cool.
I'll be right back. I have to heat up my beverage.
Okay, go go. I'll comment.
I need to go cry as well.
Da-da-da, da-da-da. All right, here's the credits. 6 minutes in. Took us a while. Well, PJ gets his drink. Audience, what do you remember being the best and the worst thing about this episode of Star Trek Discovery? Feel free to let us know in the comments. If you're watching with us live, thank you. Very cool. Bum bum. Special guest star Michelle Yeoh. Um, I really like the soundtrack for season 2 of Discovery. I wish they would come out closer to the episodes. Like one of the neatest things about the Mandalorian season 1, they didn't do it for season 2, which I guess is understandable considering that the pandemic was happening. But for season 1, after every episode, there was a soundtrack release for the whole episode. So there was like a ton of music. And so while you were waiting for the Mandalorian's next episode that week, you could, if you wanted to, listen to the soundtrack on repeat. So it was really great. I remember I'm gonna put it back in rotation. I think it was fun to do that. But I wish they would do that for Star Trek. It would be awesome. Da, bum, 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 bum. PJ, are you back?
I'm back.
Nice. You know that sound that you don't like, the TIE fighter sound?
Yeah.
I don't like that sound that we just heard for the all the shuttles. The
It would be so brave and so bold to do this kind of visuals and not have sounds of explosions and like the sounds of vehicles whipping by as if they're in like an
air.
atmosphere.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're not brave enough to do that
Or
in
you
a
could
lot
have,
in a lot of sci-fi, not just Trek. A
yeah, not
lot
just
of
Star
it.
Trek. Um, you could do it where you hear it on the inside scenes, like the
Yes, some
you know what I mean, like some kind of
alien.
reverberation or whatever.
Exactly. Uh, that Stowaway movie does that,
Yeah.
and not a great movie, but Alien Covenant does that too.
Oh, okay.
When the guys in the suit repairing stuff, you can kind of hear the noise from within his suit, like a muffled kind of thing. So it's like, okay, that's not
Yeah. I
it's good
heard
stuff.
I heard Dr. Aaron McDonald on the official Star Trek podcast. Do you listen to that?
No,
And I think they're really good science advisors. And I think sometimes the production team are just like, oh, we're gonna ignore the science in this part. So these are like intentional decisions. But I wish someone did do it accurately. It would be amazing. Like Star Trek, sorry, not just someone. I wish Star Trek did it accurately. It would be cool.
yeah,
Yeah, Braxton, I hate it too. I hate that the Enterprise has 2,000 drones. Where do they come from? They live in the same place where the space elevator lives.
follow the Queen. He doesn't say it yet.
There's a really cool guy I talked to who was
Follow
saying
the Queen.
that there could be like dimensional technology in Star Trek, and I'm like, but they never mention it in TOS, and he's like, they kind of do have stuff like that in TOS, but I'll find out for myself as I continue watching.
Mm. Well, the alternate factor or the alternative factor, whatever that one was, the really bad one.
Yeah.
That's about parallel reality. Mirror is about different dimension.
Dimensional storage would solve so much
Oh,
of like,
dimensional storage.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
If they actually had it in TOS, it would explain like a lot for TOS too. Because when you think about it, the Enterprise has always been like a magical ship that has like a room when you need it, or 10 shuttles or 5 shuttles. I think TNG was the most accurate,
you're
like
talking
where
about
you,
like a TARDIS kind of thing, aren't you?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh,
bigger on the
yeah.
inside technology.
No, they just they get, I don't know.
TNG felt the most real in terms of like you felt like you knew the ship, even though the D is huge.
Yeah, that's a big D.
Uh, do you ever watch that channel EC Henry? Look at this. Look at what's it's so crazy out. Like, it just gets noisy. There's no elegance to it. You know what I mean?
It's pew pew. Spark spark.
That's kind of a cool shot.
A-
But again, just so
And
noisy.
and another thing in Trek is like the bad guys, why don't they just shoot straight for the bridge and don't stop?
Well, to be fair, it's probably the most shielded part of the ship. One of the most. I shouldn't say the most, but one of the most like armored parts.
And the entire idea of a bridge being like front and center
A
on a
giant, also
yeah.
a giant glass thing. Yeah, the Shenzo did it right by putting it under. That was a cool idea. But there's really no up or down or whatever.
It,
But yeah, the
w- it,
bridge could
w-
be in the back, in the middle.
in the middle on
It
a
doesn't have to
like
be in.
side somewhere,
Yeah,
you never know.
yeah.
But I mean, the whole thing about these ships is that they're not going out, they're not battleships, they're exploratory, and it's like yes, they can defend themselves, but it's like
I like to think also that Federation, when designing the ships, because you have to kind of say like, what was the design intention behind it? Like, I don't think it's ever been explicitly stated, but I just think that they were like, this is the most peaceful by being the most vulnerable in appearance. We could show others that we really do mean no harm. So they make their ships like not to look powerful or look menacing, but
oh my god, I think he's done for.
Michael, Michael. I like how he snaps her out of it. There's a lot of phasers. I'm glad there's like um blue beams coming out of the Enterprise.
Mm.
I This is all great. This battle, like the interior shot, like all the action inside is great. Like if they had better visuals on the, you know, space stuff, it would complement all the acting here. These guys are doing really great. Camera work's
I
maybe a
would
little
have
too
cared
crazy,
for
but
what's going on, but I just don't care for. I don't care for the antagonist that they're battling. I don't care. I know. Well, I know they're gonna survive. That's a given. That's not even a problem. But I mean, I still don't feel any tension or stakes. Like Spock's safe. Burnham's safe.
yeah, there were app.
Pike and the Enterprise are
I
safe.
agree with you. There's app, but like I feel like the joy of the scene comes from like seeing them working together to make something happen.
Yeah.
I think, but
And like
you're
yeah,
right.
it would have had more of an impact if I cared.
If you cared, yeah, it's true.
I'm sorry.
I guess what I'm saying on a technical level, like the actors and everyone are doing their all. They're like giving it
Oh yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's no
yeah,
doubt about that.
yeah, and that's what I'm enjoying. Like I guess more than anything else, I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. Like here, look at how Sneak was like You know, she might not be saying like something you're excited by, but she's doing it like beautifully. Season 3 is way better. I'm the sister you will not
So he will
remember.
return to Discovery once she opens the wormhole. So that means he's going along. Oh, they decided that earlier, I guess, didn't they?
Yeah,
Or he
yeah.
decided.
No, so okay, he just told her he's gonna follow her,
Yes, but he
or
said he'll
like,
return to Discovery.
oh, that's right. I guess he intended to go to the future with them.
Oh yes, and then she's like,
Yeah,
"There's another guy out there you're gonna be good friends with
yeah,
in
but
10 years,
he can't.
and
He gets
it's gonna
stuck.
be all '60s style."
Right, right. He
Yeah,
gets.
he can't do it. Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
now.
he
Yeah.
gets stuck. Yeah, yeah. Now, had Spock gone into the future, what do you think of? What would you think of that?
Well, I think people would have lost their minds. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
But you could send him back.
You
He's
could,
already
but
he's already like been a traveler once later in his life.
I want a cocoon. God damn it.
I'm actually glad they didn't send Spock to the future though, because we need him on Strange New Worlds.
Yeah, it would have been illogical to do so anyway. Illogical.
Look, it's that guy. I want to see that guy have a whole show. The huge head guy.
Yeah, the character that can't really emote or say anything.
This music is awesome. I like this scene. Again, technically it's pretty except for all the craziness outside.
This is what I call just noise. I get it. I can see what's happening, but it's too busy.
Imagine how beautiful the scene would have been if it was like far less crowded and it was just like Burnham chasing the shuttle and the shuttle protecting Burnham, you know. But look,
I
she's
can
like a swarm around her. Which
the
this is, by the way, Ender's Game. Have you ever read that book or seen the, but especially seen the film?
yeah, I've seen, but
This is like the Ender's move that he does.
mm,
So it's like, oh, that looked really great. Let's just do it over and over.
oh no, what's gonna happen to Michael?
Nothing.
She has to send the signals, so I mean, come on, nothing's gonna happen to her. There's no sense of danger in any of this. I don't feel any tension whatsoever. But I felt, it in other episodes, I'm saying. Just not here.
I was pretty caught up in all of this when it first aired. Um, because there was still like the idea of like what's gonna happen, like how are they gonna resolve it. You know, there was no sense of like anyone was gonna die, but I still didn't know what the actual thing was gonna be at the
In
time.
Burnham's vision, he's got perfect aim, and he comes in here and he misses like, he doesn't kill them as effectively.
Right, which says something about what the time crystal does, how it shows you the future.
Yeah, not accurately.
Oh, this is all. I remember being mad about this stuff. There's like, they should have left Cornwall alive. Let Cornwall live. Cornwell. I keep saying Cornwall. It's Cornwell.
It's cornhole.
It's Admiral Cornhole. Here comes your scene, PJ.
Cornholio.
Get ready.
What scene?
Your favorite scene in the whole episode.
That's not. That's not anytime soon. No.
Here. I'll.
There's like a whole lot of episode left
No, I know, but
until
wait,
Leland dies.
wait.
Oh, yum yum, yeah.
I was making a joke. See.
Iron Man, Iron Man display.
It, if it were a fleet of ships, this would be amazing. And I wouldn't have cared if it was a copy paste fleet. I guess. Give us a real space battle, guys. We got it at the Battle of the Binary Stars, actually.
What?
We got a space fleet battle.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow, a new torpedo.
That doesn't explode.
Yeah, remember? And that's why Cornwall tries to disarm it, and then they can't or whatever, so she has to, like, blow up with the ship.
And it blows anyway. But the blast doors just kept the other parts safe. So what was the point of Cornwell? I don't understand.
We'll find out. I'm gonna pay attention.
Like I didn't.
a
Don't they
little harder.
proofread their scripts? I don't fucking know. Don't they look at the storyboards and say like, is are they such the higher up such tyrants that they're afraid to point out any mistakes? It's like, guys, this isn't right. It's like, well, motherfucker, it's gonna take us $2 million to go back and fix all that shit. So fuck it. Okay, but I don't know.
I don't know.
At least the sparks aren't flying directly into their faces like in other Star Trek,
I
where
think
it's like
a lot more.
I'd be so afraid to be at a console knowing it could blow up in my fucking face and blind me at any point.
I think it's a lot more. They change direction on purpose, and they're like, well, most audience won't care as much as, like, that nerd Starfleet Boy and PJ uh, about these things.
I totally get it. They're like, we have to appeal to the lowest common denominator.
It's I don't think it's lowest, actually. I think it's the common denominator. Period. Like, it just doesn't make sense to make a show for, like, 10% of the population.
Yeah, it makes total sense to make shows for
No,
intelligent
I'm just saying.
thinking people.
I'm just
There are
saying.
so many shows out
I'm
there
saying that the
that
majority.
never talk down to their audience, that are well written and well directed.
I'm talking
constantly.
down, but the show's not talking down. I think the show is just being, like,
Stupid,
widely accessible.
dumb,
That's why they do things
irrelevant,
like sound
illogical.
in space. They're like, most people, even though they know the science, they want to hear the space, the space cannons and the whooshes, and that's what it
I'm not
is.
even pissed off. I'm not talking about sound and space stuff.
No, that's just one aspect. I'm just saying also, like,
I'm
they're not
talking
going to
about
spend
just.
money to refilm a whole scene to make it perfect. They're like, most people aren't going to care. They know,
I just can't wrap my head around creatives and producers who greenlight like these seasons, going into them with all of the money that is given to them for this, which is a buttload, and they don't have it all figured out from beginning to end, as if like that's not how it's done. We play it by ear, or we fix things along the way, which they do. They can rearrange entire episodes and like go back
the
and do
problem is
reshoots
that
and
when,
add
like,
all kinds of stuff. But
when a studio
usually,
set,
if it's a fucking banging script and the story is great, all you have to do is just film that
whoa,
shit, and then post production comes in after, or at this point before.
look at the
Because they have
size
to do
of
all
that
previs.
thing.
Okay, never mind.
I just here's why I stopped you, and I'm sorry, but, like, what you're saying makes sense if you're like you, again, what you're saying makes sense for like more artful stuff, but like studios are usually like, I need this by tomorrow or I need this by yesterday, and you have to like sacrifice stuff and you have to make it for like a lot of people rather than a few, and so it's not going to be perfect.
That's a piss poor excuse because a lot of shows
This show, the
come out
Star
and
Trek no, not a lot of shows. You can only name like probably 10 shows of all the shows that come out that are like up to your criteria that you were describing earlier. And I
there
agree
are
that Star Trek
there
should be one
are
of those,
there are
but I don't
so
think there's
many
a lot.
shows.
We'll
If I
have to
actually
do another
sat down and did a
special.
list, I could tell you right now that in the shows that have existed, say in the last 20 years that I've seen, like so many that are just like so well made. And I'm saying I wish Star Trek today was one of the prestige shows.
It is. That's the thing.
No, no,
You're
no, no, no,
mislabeling
no,
it.
no, no, God, no,
Yeah,
God,
no. A
no.
ton of people disagree with that. What I'm telling you is you're in the minority, and it's nice because I agree with you, but most people are enjoying the show that I've talked to, and they don't care about any of the stuff that we care about. Like
I'm
all the
not
stuff I
talking
was
about the
describing.
people who fucking lick fucking Star Trek's butthole all the time. I'm talking about the general audience. You're not gonna expand Trek to like a broader intelligent. There's lots of really smart people who love sci-fi who like fucking love like Battlestar Galactica or fucking Stargate or some shit. They're not interested in Star Trek for whatever reason. But if you brought them a show that was of the quality of some of the shows that HBO put out there, or fucking, a lot of these really well-made shows,
The only
that would draw
problem
in the
with
right
Star Trek,
audience. See, the problem what they're doing here in New Trek is they're saying, screw the thinking audience. We're gonna go for
but they have.
we're gonna go for the broadest audience which they've been doing since 2009. They've dumbed it down so that it's the same reason they didn't fucking greenlight the Cage way back 50 odd something years ago, is because it was too cerebral. They didn't want people to have to think about things and pay attention. There's another show called Police Squad with Leslie Nielsen, which spun off into the Naked Gun movies, right? The reason that show was canceled, and this is the executive's excuse, was that people had to pay attention to the jokes to get it. Is that you couldn't really look away where you would miss a couple of jokes or so many sight gags, and it was so like kind of like subtle in a lot of ways, and it was really ahead of its time in terms of like spoof and satire and stuff, especially with the visual gags. And the executives were like, people have to pay attention to this to get the jokes. They can't look away and just hear like stupid like general sitcom shit. And they said, we got to get rid of it. And that's a brilliant show. It only lasted 6 episodes, and then it did so well on video because like really like smart people who liked really good intelligent spoof comedy bought it on video, and then they made 3 successful movies out of it. So I'm saying, if they want to keep going the simple route where people don't have to think too hard,
They're
or
not going.
they do an
You're
opposite thing in
wrong.
this, or
You're
they make it so
100%
convoluted and
wrong. You're
complicated
100%
that
wrong.
if you don't get it, then that if you don't get it, then
I'm
it
telling
means
you,
you're not smart enough to get it, when in fact the story doesn't make any fucking sense.
there's nothing about the story that doesn't make sense. It's just it's
What the
honestly
fuck are you saying?
it's the little things that they've got wrong. It's nothing on the big scale. Like the story makes sense. It's easy to follow. There's nothing convoluted about it. If you really insist, I can lay it out for you. But where they went wrong is a lot of these like, you know, bad choices in like storytelling on like per episode. There's no overarching like continuity. We've seen that in this rewatch. There's no like overarching kind of like, you know, coherence, I guess is the correct word. But the story is easy to follow. There's nothing, you know, there's nothing bad about the story in the sense of like where it's not coherent overall. It's just again like it's like choices. I think the show fails where I think it's being more of a common denominator show is like, you know,
I don't think
having
this
like
season is very easy to follow
drones
because
coming
of
out.
the stupid Red Angel stuff that doesn't make any sense.
We've seen it. We've seen it all this in this rewatch. Like the Red Angel stuff actually does make sense except for like a few little things like that you can easily just be like, okay, it doesn't matter. overall the story gets to where it needs to
Essentially,
go.
you have a piece of technology that can go anywhere
It doesn't make sense to
in
you
time
who's
and
seen
space.
all of Star Trek.
It is more
It doesn't make sense
advanced
to
than the
you.
goddamn spore
It doesn't
drive, for
make
fuck's
sense
sake.
to you who, again, it doesn't make sense to you who's seen all of Star Trek. But to someone just watching this show for the first time who hasn't seen like any other Star Trek, there's nothing wrong with what's on screen. It's true. It's
Yes.
100% true.
Oh my god. I suppose. I don't
And
know.
and just to answer your thing about cerebral Star Trek, in my opinion, the only Star Trek that's like truly cerebral was Star Trek: The Next Generation and maybe TOS. After that, it's all action and drama and like not as much science. DS9's kind of like where that kind of happened, and to me, Voyager's like kind of mostly drama. Like they're just rehashing things that we found out on TNG, and Enterprise is like I just hate prequels in general. So, to me, the last show that was cerebral was TNG. So Star Trek hasn't been cerebral, in my opinion. So maybe I'm a snob. Maybe I'm the 1% that they should make the show for, you know. but but I
Well,
just
you know what? If I were control of it, in control of it all, and I said I'm going to make this show going forward, set post Nemesis and shit, uh, I would just do the right thing and just be true to what came before, and like the tone.
they
Even
are being true to what came before. That's the problem, I
no,
think.
the
I
Discovery
think Star Trek needs to
disrespects canon, of course.
look. Braxton, Enterprise is trash. This is one of the most popular Star Trek shows watch in history because I think it is drawing in a brand new audience. Like it's a younger generation, a huge.
Where do you how do you what do you base that on? That
I
it's
thought
this is the most
Voyager, when
watched.
Voyager was airing, I was like, how do people like the show? And it was really beloved. I think that like I love Sean, but I think he has bad taste because Voyager is one of his favorite shows. And I'm sorry if it's yours too. I'm like, oh my god.
Voy
Like I don't know how anyone you're talking about people licking the asshole of Star Trek. Anyone who like says Voyager's like an amazing fucking show, aside from a few characters like Seven of Nine,
yeah.
is licking this is licking the
I
Star Trek medal, in my opinion.
my my opinion of Voyager, it's only good post Kess.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot more. I'm
She's a
only on
character.
season 5,
She's a
but
character I
yeah.
absolutely fucking love. I mean, I can't stand. I don't know what it is about the actor who plays her, or what. Or just the character too is just. And you know what?
I love
Voyager is
this
a show
scene.
that I did not enjoy for
I didn't.
a
I'm not in.
while until Seven came along.
That's cool. Yeah, it's
When
kind
it
of
became the Borg
yeah,
show, then I was all in.
yeah. I do admit I'm enjoying it a lot more in season 5. I love all this stuff. This is very Stanley Kubrick, but
It's same thing
ish.
as DS9. I I watched it, but I didn't like love it until season 4, and then Worf came along. I was like, oh shit, I love this now, and
Yeah,
I look forward to every episode.
that's how it was for me too.
And in
And I didn't
Discovery,
even
just
finish Deep
personally,
Space Nine when it aired. I stopped watching it and I bought all the DVDs later. Like
yeah,
I know I seem like one of these people. Well, I do. I love all Star Trek, so I am one of those people. But it's not like to me like TNG is probably the best show still today.
yeah, I think TNG and DS9. Well, the first three are the best. Um, I think
The music's pretty here too, and I
you
love the
know
wire
it.
work.
But by some miracle, if season 4 of Discovery is like the one where I'm like, okay, this was a good season. Because every season I've said it's okay, good and bad, good and bad. Like I was saying earlier when you were gone, I said the first half of this season appeals to me much more than the second half, although there are some good parts in the second half.
That's hilarious, Braxton. See, Braxton loves Voyager.
Voyager
There's a
is a
ton of
hugely
people.
popular
That's
show.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm surprised about. Like, and I respect you,
I'm pretty
Braxton.
sure it's the
So
most
I know
popular Trek
Voyager's.
show on Netflix and has been for
Yes, it
years.
is. I think Enterprise is more fire trash though than Voyager, but so far I'm enjoying season 5 a lot. So we'll see how we get to the ending.
Dude, I'm gonna make a prediction right now. Prodigy is gonna blow up. The one made for kids is gonna be like the one everybody's like, oh my god, or the opposite. It's gonna be the complete opposite then. She's like, oh, I look pretty. Terra Elysium.
See, this was what confused me was like, again, something that's not going to matter to a lot of people, but the physics and everything like of what they were saying about how she only can do it once and not come back didn't make sense with what we're seeing. She's like traveling everywhere.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, even if I went into this cold and I didn't know, this would all be like a little bit magical. It's
Yeah.
like it's. I don't mind a bit of far fetched stuff in sci-fi. I don't, you know, you can go in weird places. It's cool, but like sometimes it's just overkill. It really is. It's just I'm taken out of it, and I can't help that. It's just the way I feel. So stop persecuting me, Starfleet Boy.
I wasn't persecuting
Oh,
you. I was just saying like I was
that
just
was
trying to
I like
share.
I like that where they got sucked out just then. That was a good
Yeah, it was
action
cool.
moment.
I was just trying to say that like um when you said that that's I just misunderstood you and I thought you were like, everything but this that came before Discovery was cerebral, and I disagree. That's what triggered me.
No, I mean there's room for all of it. I'm not talking about like a show where you got to think hard all the time. I'm talking about just I want to watch it 3 and 4 times, right? And pick up on something like, oh, I understand it more as opposed to I see more flaws. It's like
I
when you're with
feel
somebody for too long and you start to get annoyed with them, all the beauty you saw in them fades away.
Yeah, I feel that it's funny because I guess just my takeaway from this season, the first time was I think I was just like really in love with like having a captain that was like Pike. So it was just like mostly that rewatching it. Yeah, this season's actually I would say not as strong as I remember it
Like
overall.
they're trying
It's not
really
as
hard here with the
interesting. Yeah.
action, with the rotating set and whatnot, and it's interesting. It's cool, but see that
And
little jump, that was
season 3 for me though, and I think again, I wish it had been the first season because I know Discovery will probably end at like season 7, like a traditional like type of show.
now remember when somebody's possessed by control, they can like go like super fast and like crack limbs like with ease and whatnot.
Right,
But yeah, it's a very human fight between her and Leland.
right. Yeah, but I think that that control guy was bluffing a little bit too or exaggerating. I don't know. Well, I like that we get to see this scene again, but I thought that was so exciting when we first saw it.
I am the angel Gabriel, sent from heaven.
It well, the
Well,
funny thing
actually, your
is
mother's name is Gabriel. I forgot about that.
it is, and she's Michael, which is also an archangel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there is a whole angel motif this season. Gabriel's the angel of death, right? Or war. No,
Uh,
Michael's the angel of war, I think, and Gabriel's the angel of death.
I don't know.
They all had jobs, remember?
I'm suicidal. I want to die. See ya.
I thought they were gonna eject the bulkhead out into space, and you could only do it from in here. You know what I mean? Like the whole section,
Mm,
and that's probably what they planned. Maybe, who knows? Because doesn't that make more sense?
yeah, I don't know. The Klingon at the console, I don't know if they show him again, Glenn Hedrick. He looks cool. Oh, God. What a cringy line. This is my
She
last
speaks
paycheck.
Klingon really. She speaks Klingon. They both speak Klingon very well. So now she gets peeking on Pike's future.
Yeah, like, what? You know, what? Why?
This is probably what you're talking about
I
in
can't roll
terms
my
of.
eyes hard enough here.
I was gonna say this is probably what you're talking about that annoys you is that like why do we need the connect the dots scene?
It's it's it, it's diving in. It's doing that thing where it melds the technological with the magical, and then tells you it's all technological, and you just don't get the technology. And I'm like, I get it. I just don't agree with it in this universe at this time. That's all it is, really, essentially. I mean,
Well,
this is a
in my
reimagining
opinion,
to me that goes a little bit too far. That's all.
yeah, I in my opinion it's a reimagining first and foremost, but also they do create a nice little sandbox, like a bubble. There's a lot of like reasons why this could have happened and no one else knows about it. But where they fail is like things like things like just to me it's the stuff that fail like the time suit doesn't bother me and all that. It's like what fails is like the drones on the Enterprise and like the that's the so I guess everyone has something about Star Trek Discovery that they
It would be
disagree
great if
with if they've seen Star Trek.
it'd be great if they could have a season of a Trek show. And Lower Decks was the closest thing where everybody was kind of on board and saying, "Yeah, this is good." There were still people who hate all of it and still
It's
saying, "Oh,
because
Lower Decks is an abomination." It's I'm
yeah,
like,
but
dude, it's a
overall,
fucking cartoon
yeah,
comedy. Like, come on. But I would like a show where everybody's like, "Yeah, either okay to like, yeah, that's some good Star Trek." Even the naysayers who like, I fucking hate everything Kurtzman touches, which I get, but I'm not in that phase of my life anymore.
I think it's the
I joke
opposite,
about it
PJ.
though.
I think the people that are I really honestly think like the people that are most people are like okay with Star Trek Discovery. I don't know. Maybe I
No, no,
talk
I
to a
mean,
lot.
I mean, I'm not
Like
talking about. I mean,
I
there.
think it's I
Jesus
think
Christ,
Lower
man! There's a lot of
Decks.
Star Trek fans out there who don't like any of this stuff. You do realize that, right? You
I
you
but
you
what
you
I'm
you you
saying,
live in a world
yeah,
where you see everybody who likes it, but there are people who've been
no, I actually
lifelong fucking fans, dude,
no, I
lifelong who
have
don't like this stuff.
yeah, I understand that, but like I know a lot of people and I talk to a lot of people about Star Trek. You guys are not and Twitter's not my only exposure to it and I just I see a different scene.
Exactly.
I only see the only haters of in my whole entire circle was just
And see, that's
huge
another thing too. Hey, I know it's so easy to be on one
to
side
use
or the
that
other with
word
all
or
this
just to
stuff,
use
right?
the word hater. I guess I should say the only people who are like disgusted by Discovery that I know are like very few. It's like one or two people. Most people are like, "Oh yeah, I like it. I liked other Star Treks better, but I like it." And I think that's how most people feel about it.
There are. I've listened to all different kinds of criticisms and stuff, and you will get the very negative people who do not like it. In fact, despise it. Like even like JJ from the JJ Abrams time to now, right? And if they explain, and there are people out there, I won't name names because I don't want to direct anybody to like people who bitch about Star Trek, but I'm just saying there are one person in particular who is quite popular, uh, thoroughly explains why he doesn't agree with what they're doing with it, and he reiterates like past iterations and what you could do with it and where you could go. Like he does his best to explain why. Now you get these other people who are like, I hate this because, and it's just Kurtzman. I get Kurtzman's like, the head honcho. It's all top down. It's his responsibility. There are a lot of other producers. There's like 20 other people too who are all working this shit out as well. So, but you will get the negative ones who will bitch about things about the show that they say don't make sense but are actually fully explained. Like I'd probably do that too. Where it's like, oh, they explained the show. I'm like, yeah, but I don't like it. But I'm talking about like the whole thing, and here's a good example. In season 3, a lot of negative sites went with the whole thing about the dude from the Kelvinverse in season 3 was confirmation that Discovery, in its entirety, took place in the Kelvin universe. Now that was somebody deliberately spreading a false interpretation of that episode with Cronenberg and all that shit, right? To generate a fucking thing where like, oh, we knew it's JJ, and there's still people out there who are like, JJ's secretly running the show, and I have to cringe at that stuff because it's still out there. Now it's died down quite significantly because the haters who really really hate and are only kind of like getting clicks for it are finding that like they're getting repetitive because it's not something, if it's something that they're dislike so much that they actually themselves lose interest in bitching about it. And I've seen that too. It was like,
how come you don't let me talk about
you get
those
the haters
channels on my show?
You get the haters
because,
who
can I just
but here's another thing too. Here's another little phenomenon. When they get bored, when they get bored. No, hold on.
One quick question.
Hold on. It's like
your original point. Your original point with this was to you try. I said
fuck.
All right, but it's like I think you've gone astray from your point, in my opinion, because what I was asking, what I was saying is that like there's like one or two people that I know of all the people that I know that dislike Discovery. Most people are okay with it, and then you went on this tangent.
I'm talking about impassioned hate, like the people who watch it to hate it with the preconception that they will dislike a thing.
Yeah. So what does that have to do with anything?
And literally they put these kind of blinders on, and they don't try to enjoy it, and it becomes like a clickbait profitable thing. And I'm saying when they get tired of bitching and like okay, people are starting to realize I'm full of shit now, so about this topic, and they're getting sick of me a bit, and then they literally do this thing where they switch to Star Wars then, and Kathleen Kennedy and all that drama, and Ryan still talking about Rian Johnson directing Last Jedi fucking years later, and it's like, wow, and it's like, but here's the good thing. You get people, like, and Trek Yards is an example of this, who say good and bad, and they try to state as best they can the reasons for why they're saying the good and the bad, and they're bringing up examples, and they're being very thorough. Now, those guys, I just want to finish this point. Those guys will get hate, saying that they're haters and they hate fucking New Trek and all this shit. And then
I gotta stop
people.
you.
People
right
will
now.
say, people will go like, "Oh, you're
I gotta stop
shills."
you right. I gotta stop you right now.
What?
Those guys have so many. I love them, by the way. I love the Trek Yards people.
Yeah.
They have so many viewers. More people know that they're not haters. The people who think they're haters are clearly not even watching their show and aren't watching Star Trek either. They're just watching
I've watched
YouTube
these guys
channels.
enough, and they bring it up, and they get annoyed by it.
Yeah, they're annoyed by it, but they're not looked at as haters. Most people think of them as...
I'm not saying they are, man.
That's what you're saying.
No, you didn't let me finish my point. My point is that they say the good and the bad. Good and bad. And they explain why they say the good and the bad, correct?
Yeah.
So what you get is that people, you have a group of people coming at them, and they've talked about this, who say, you're haters, you're blah, 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 blah. And then there are other ones who say, you kiss their ass. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I find that a lot of people have to take a one side or the other position and stick with it because they don't want to get shit on from both sides.
I switch my position constantly, and no one bothers me about it. So,
well, well, to be fair, you're really just generally nice anyway. So I mean, you're not one of these people who gets like you're like a
I think where
fucking
people go
motherfucker.
wrong, yeah, I think that's where people like invite that kind of element. Sadly,
If you're popular though, like if you've got like thousands of fucking views and shit every video,
but
if
if
you're
you're gonna use insults to make your point, and I know it's not directed at anyone specifically, but
yeah,
if you are gonna make insults to make your point, someone's gonna take a snapshot of that or get triggered by it. It's just simple. There's a way of
that
speaking and saying the
it's
same exact message
exactly.
without triggering anyone,
I
and
said I said
that's the best thing to
I
do.
said one time in a video that that I think something's wrong in season. I predicted the season 2. We're gonna find that there's something wrong with Spock, and Burnham has to help him. And somebody heard that and took that as me being a negative fucking Discovery person. And I said I had to tell this person like I like and dislike it. I mean I'm in the middle, right? Like you know what I'm saying. I had to explain like I'm not a hater. I'm not a lover. And they're like, oh, well,
I'm
all
a
I heard,
bitch. I'm a
and
lover.
and then they told me all they heard was me saying there's something wrong with Spock and Burnham has to help him, as if like I'm bitching about that. I'm like, no, that's just a prediction I was making. I wasn't saying like, oh, they're gonna ruin Spock by having Burnham fucking come in and save his ass. That's what it was viewed as. You know what I mean? But they literally only listened to that one part of the video and then turned it off and said, he's a hater, gonna use him as an example of being a hater. And I had to explain to that person, no, that's not the case. You're mistaken. You watched 2 seconds of a video and made a snap judgment about me, which a lot of people get, to be fair. I mean, it's like, I'm just saying I'm not used to it because nobody pays attention to me anyway, so. Oh, God.
The scene where the Michael was doing the final whatever travel into the future and opening the giant wormhole is actually very pretty, and I like the music that accompanied it. This is all whatever. It is nice though.
I want to poke
Jojo
my eyeballs out. Fuck. God, I can't look at this. I don't even. Oh God, I hate this.
It's like ants.
Yes, Braxton says Samuel literally hates everything. He Samuel will nitpick every single continuity thing, and he's of the mindset, and he's stated this, that Trek should be treated as a period piece, meaning that you don't retcon even like the eugenics war or anything
I
like that.
actually agree with that 100%.
But I think you can evolve and change it, and you know,
It's just that
to
I guess
reflect, you can change it to reflect the times.
I have that feeling, but I guess I'm also just a realist, like knowing that like
You
it's
can't
already
do that.
too late. Like
Yeah.
Enterprise already ruined that. Like there's no way you're gonna go back from it. Like why does Enterprise get a pass? You know, like to me, Enterprise was an abomination when it came out. Like how people talk about.
I never knew
Discovery.
you had the. I never
I have
had
that.
these feelings about
I
Enterprise.
swear to you. I like it now that I'm over all that. Like I watched it in earnest, I guess is the thing. Is I used to hate watch it, or like I used to just like not pay attention to it, and now I watch it and it's like okay, it's a good show. I think that's why I'm softer on shows like Discovery, because Enterprise already ruined it for me.
And the whole point of that rant was that I would just love a show, and hopefully Strange New Worlds is that show, and Lower Decks is kind of that show too, but where we can all come together, every Trek fan, and say
It's never gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
that's what I'm saying. Like it's like this cynical
Lower
idea
Decks
of
is the closest.
the cynical idea of they're never going to remaster DS9 and Voyager because of money and they don't care and whatever. And the same is so for this idea that we're never going to get a show that's going to satisfy everybody. You know, you can get close. You can get close. I mean, you know, there's going to be a Star Wars fucking movie someday that like unites the fandom again. And The Mandalorian is a series that for a lot of divided Star Wars fans
I've never seen in my 40 some odd years of engaging with Star Trek fans, I've never seen a united Star Trek fan base ever. Like there has always been a one side or another on some issue of Star Trek, as far as I've known.
I don't mean hands across the world, dude. Like every single
No, I know
person.
what you're saying, but
I'm
I'm
just
saying
talking about
I'm
a.
telling you that
I'm
like
just
what
talking
you're
about a general.
after is yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, like you know how like TNG and you know how the Berman era. I know people probably don't like saying that anymore, but the Berman era and even go back to TOS. It's like
There's
there was a
PJ's
time.
background.
There was what was I saying? There was a time when yes, some people like TNG over DS9, and they didn't like Voyager, but they loved DS9. Probably didn't like TNG so much, but it was always those shows were shows that like young people could get into and then discover the rest of Trek because there was a consistency amongst them all. You know what I mean? And they may not have enjoyed one over one. You know, Enterprise may have come along and they'd be like, "Oh, well, screw this." But some might have come along and Enterprise was the first show they ever watched. My cousin, first Star Trek show he ever watched, season to season, was Enterprise. Didn't care for any other Trek but that. Isn't that weird? So it got him
I don't
into
think
it.
it's weird at
It
all.
got
I
him
think
in the door, but he still didn't go the distance and explore the rest of it. You know what I mean?
yeah, I don't think it's weird at all. I think a lot of people are gonna be feeling that way about Discovery. This is their first Star Trek show, and they're like loving it, which I'm glad about. It's not my favorite Star Trek show, but
And
I'm
if
glad.
there's any benefit to that, is that they go back and they discover the older stuff.
And hopefully like it.
You don't have to, but I mean, and that's the thing. You are a fan if you only like one movie, one show, anything. Like you don't have to like it all.
Yeah, and you can be
And
in the
that's what I hate
conversation
about the
too.
fan. It's like anything they put out, you gotta like and you gotta support. It's like I get that. I'll support it to a
There's a
degree, but
layer
I
of
will.
that that's true though. If like I'm the kind of Star Trek fan that like I'd rather have something cool. Like this is not fire trash. Like this is at least something I can work with. Like I'm enjoying watching it with you, for example, doing this series. I enjoyed discussing it. I enjoy like just visually, it's an appealing show to watch. So there's a lot of levels that like where I enjoy it, and I know I wish it could be like better than it ended up, but I think every season has gotten better, and to me that's a good sign. Uh, you know, and yeah, it's I wish it did great from the start. Like I'm an investor in Star Trek. Like I'm not invested like literally like in the sense of like I own Star Trek stock, but I've invested a great deal of my time in Star Trek. So I always hope for it to succeed on some level. So yeah, I think there is a level of that for me anyways.
Braxton said this discussion review kind of went totally left,
Loved.
and it was a great climax to the
Our climax
season.
was better
Our
than the
climax was more interesting
it
than the
was
episode. That was the entire point of it.
that I
So
will say.
we succeeded,
We did-
and people are going to be cursing me out, and then people are going to be agreeing with you, and then not with you, and then with me.
yeah.
And but the 7 people that watch it will have opinions, maybe.
This is another thing I disagree with Star Trek Discovery is like how like the interrogators are always in the shadows or like obscured somehow. Like the people they're not interrogators, but it makes them feel like interrogators. It's like
It's mysterious. I like that shot here of Space
yeah,
Dock.
this is really cool. All right, so this is the part of the episode that makes the whole season worth it for me. I like gave I think I gave this episode a 10 only because of this scene. This whole sequence.
Still doesn't look as photorealistic as the old movies.
It's true.
Diplomatic immunity just been revoked.
She's like,
We will forget she ever existed for continuity's sake. Because people bitched. They never had to do that. I was a firm believer that was the one thing they were very oversensitive about. It's like, I don't know, people don't like the fact that Spock had a sister, apparently. I'm like, no, dude. That's another thing, too. That's the part where too much of the negative obscured, like, I think the creators' expectations of the fans. So we had to find a way that Spock never mentions her again. I'm like, you know
I
what?
appreciate it.
you know what? A lot of characters in a lot of shows and movies have siblings that they never mention and we never hear about. It's nothing new. It's no big surprise.
I know a ton of people don't know if I have a sibling or not, and some people do.
So the whole thing, and from the beginning, even when I was talking with Father, like early on, back before this came out, it's like neither one of us understood why people were upset about. Oh, Spock's got a sister. That they never mentioned that. I'm like,
I think
okay,
what
we
I think
never knew
what
about
upset
Cybok until part 5, so that was years after the show. So what the hell?
I think what upset me about it was when I first learned that Burnham and Spock were brother and sister was the fact that like they couldn't let the character of I love Burnham. I've loved her since the start, and I just thought like giving her the Spock as a brother made it like detracted something from her own character. And I
Yeah,
think it was a decision that was made seconds. I don't think they ever planned her to be. I don't know. I don't remember. Uh, I mean, you could say whatever you want.
I think
Alex
it
Kurtzman
might have
could
been a
say what you want, but
safety
it
net.
doesn't seem like. Yeah, I think
It,
that, like, I think the thing is that the Spock is like a such a huge piece of nostalgia. To tie him to Burnham, they thought, oh, it would make it stronger, but to me, it felt like initially it felt like it was making her weaker. But now I love it, of course, because now I'm like the way I think overall the way it was executed was great, and the actors really worked well, with each other. But my initial reason for disliking it was that.
yeah, there might have been a way to just say, if we make her, we could. They could have made
By
her
the
the
way,
adoptive, the
sorry to
adoptive
interrupt you.
daughter. Okay, sorry.
I just have to get this in on your stream. Spock
Yeah,
looks
go.
so hot without the beard and looking like Spock, and I just needed to document it. And this is like, look at him, look at him, he's so beautiful. What a beautiful, beautiful Spock. All right, carry on. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying, like they probably just put it in there. They could have made her the adoptive daughter of other Vulcans, but to make her Sarek's daughter and to have Spock be her brother, even though they said they weren't going to bring him into it, but they still wanted like legacy characters in the show to make that connection.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah, season one, I disagreed with Sarek being her father because it was gonna make Spock her brother, and I didn't like it. But again, they executed it well.
I was more so interested how they would deal with it, and they said no, we're not going to do Spock and Pike, and of course by the end of the first season they're like,
Did
yeah,
they
we're
actually
doing
say
that.
that? Because I don't remember them ever saying it, like not even in an interview. But do you remember where that came from?
Yes, I remember Akiva Goldsman talking about it,
Oh, gotcha.
and and he even said like recently about how he thought it would be about Spock and Pike on the Enterprise 10 years before Kirk, and it's like no, actually it's Spock's, and he was like, oh, it's Spock's sister, okay, and
I
then
think
they,
Burnham should
uh,
have. I think the whole show should have been set post TNG, and it would have been brilliant. And
yeah,
I think it would have been great. And you didn't need Sarek or Spock or any legacy characters. Like I think you're right. They just didn't think that it was a safety net, like you said.
do you think they'll do the original theme for Strange New Worlds, like
I hope so. I hope it's
I don't want them
I
to.
hope I hope
I
it's
think they're
like a
taking away from
variation of
TOS
it.
doing that.
Also, I think that there's probably something at play which makes sense. It's very hard to resist this, but like even me, like I've rewritten as a kid. I wrote like so much fan fiction that rewrote the story of Star Trek from the beginning, like the filling in the gaps and things like that. And I think that like because Alex Kurtzman, Brian Fuller, um, but Brian Fuller more, who initiated the whole project, I guess, and Akiva Goldsman and all these guys, they're all fans. It makes sense why they keep doing prequels or like shows set in the past because they want to put their own spin or their own like note in that. But I think it's so much better when you like create the next thing. Like I think you should always Star Trek should always move forward. Like it's just better, I think, like from the perspective of like storytelling. You're free to do whatever you want. Why recreate Captain Kirk and that era and stuff? Why, it's okay to do like episodes where you revisit it, or maybe even a season or something. But why, like it would have been cool if like Star Trek Discovery started out in a future time, and maybe in season 2 we flash back to how the Discovery got there. But like, don't tell us anything about it. You know what I mean? Like, just start, if they had started from season 3. In fact, maybe the show would work really well if you watch season 3 first and then go back and watch season 1 and 2.
I think. I mean, I know I'm saying this with Strange New Worlds coming out, but constantly dipping back into the past and not going forward is a bit of a downer. Even like these, even Lower Decks and Prodigy are like still before Picard. So Picard and Discovery season 3 now are the only two shows that actually do move forward in the Trek timeline.
Yeah.
Uh,
A show that does it really well is the Clone Wars series, but it's animated, so you can really do things. Anime. That's why I think Lower Decks works the best. Is like you can actually like do things and make them look close to how they should look. Like people can accept a degree of like, I don't know. There's just something about it
I
like
mean,
being animated
they
that
could have
works
done
really
that
well.
for other shows to keep it in line with
Yeah.
how it looked. But with Mike McMahon, he's in his mind he had control and he wanted to make it look like it's supposed to. And even with the Titan,
And what's
he
great about
he
Picard
made
is
that look
that
great.
it looks like it's supposed to because there was no information from this era before. You know what I mean? Like that's what's great about Picard. Like I enjoyed watching Picard a lot more than I enjoyed watching Discovery because like that part of my brain that was like that knows and loves TOS and all this and like that part of my brain's not like, oh, well, this should be this or that should be that. It's like turned off, so you can actually like pay attention and enjoy the first time around like a little bit more, in my opinion. It was like a relief. But yeah, not
Since
everyone
the
does that though. Not everyone's like that. Like to not everyone's bothered by the fact that like this looks different or that or the technology of a spacesuit that can travel through time and do all these things and put shields around. Like bring a whole church into the future. Like that existed. Or that holographic technology. Like those things don't bother people. Mostly but if you just set a show in the future, you can do whatever you want and be free of all that stuff. And people like asking questions
But
and
here's the thing:
complaining.
even the power of um, the Red Angel suit, and some would argue the power of the Spore Drive, is something that is too advanced for even the Picard era.
Oh,
So
I
it's
wouldn't
it's
argue
not even
that.
that. It's just like
No, I
you
actually
you would
wouldn't
think you would think
argue
by
that at
by
all.
by the 2500 the year 2500 that they would have invented something similar that can just imagine like all the secret technologies that have been around that we didn't know about, like Section 31 and all their cool stuff that they had back in the day. How that would have evolved over the years, you know what I mean?
Star Trek, like Discovery, is interesting because the spore technology and the spacesuit, like I think would have been far fetched even in Picard, but it would have been less far fetched because like
Yeah.
the
Yes.
next step in Picard like era in Star Trek TNG era, Star Trek TNG to Voyager era, then they were already exploring ships that could go really really fast or jump, sort of. You know what I mean? Like through space through these conduits or whatever. And
Was
travel
it
great distances.
was
So
it
I feel like
transphasic technology and stuff
yeah,
like
all
that?
these things. Yeah, like so those are so again, yeah, that's what bugs people I think is that like and I guess that's where section 31 comes into play. Like you can say that like, all this knowledge was classified because of what almost happened. They had to like kind of put the kibosh on all this and like it was put in that Indiana Jones warehouse in Area 51, so to speak, like
Yeah.
so other people had to reinvent it or whatever, I guess. But yeah, it's interesting. I mean, there's a lot of again, there's a lot of ways to explain everything. It's just exhausting.
We we should take a 1 year break from this commentary.
Excuse me. You made me cough.
I mean 1 week. Sorry.
Yeah, we should. You're so ahead. You were so worried that you were not gonna catch up.
Well, we got into season 2 to be honest, and uh, season 3 is still fresh. I guess I still remember that last episode. It's just like action Jackson all the way
Yeah.
with the city inside the ship and all that stuff.
After sitting on it for a little while, I think I'm like less hype about the. I'm less looking forward to the burn plot. I think I'm gonna be bored a lot. I'm gonna be bored a lot.
Every time they talk about it, you're like, yeah, we know what it is. Just move
Yeah,
along.
that's the problem, right? Isn't it?
That's the
season
whole
2?
problem with the
Yeah.
season long mystery boxes. Because once you
Yeah.
figure it out and you go back and rewatch it,
It's
and
not
it's
as
not intriguing
interesting.
enough.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
falls
You're
flat.
right. Come on, season 4. Don't do it. Don't fall in the same trap. Don't.
We must spend all season trying to figure out what this temporal anomaly is, and it turns out it was a flower on a planet.
Okay, I'm putting it out here right now. If they actually do a flower on a planet, if that happens, I'm just gonna say it's the most brave show on the planet. It's the most genius show on the planet. That's really hilarious.
And then they finally meet the flower, and the flower's like, I have created the temporal anomaly. Why? I don't know, for plot reasons.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna be as excited. So I am looking forward to doing the rewatch to see. But I will enjoy the. There are a lot of things I can remember enjoying, and one of them is Book and Burnham. So that'll be fun. Oh,
Yeah.
and frickin' Stamets and Culber and the kids.
And Grudge.
And-
Didn't do much
yeah.
with Grudge.
Yeah,
Grudge was just there.
yeah.
Could have been cool if, like, at the end, Grudge was like, hello, my name is Grudge. I could talk the whole time. You do realize it's the 32nd
You know what
century,
else
don't
is
you?
really great about it is they went to a lot of planets, more than they ever did, right?
Yeah, they went to a lot of Toronto, Ontario planets.
And then Greenland also, right?
Greenland, yeah, they
or
shot
Iceland or something like that. Yeah.
It's funny because they shoot in Iceland for 2 episodes, and they're supposed to be different planets, and they look like the same planet. Like, you wouldn't know the difference. And it's like, oh, it's just the same location from the other episode in the other place.
Where did you stand on Picard overall, season 1?
I didn't like it.
Oh, okay. Then
Sort
might
of an abomination. Probably one of the worst things that
Oh,
has
wow.
ever happened with Trek.
Okay, we won't be doing a commentary together for those. It'll just be one argument.
I don't think I'll ever watch that again. I can't. I couldn't.
You couldn't even watch it.
No,
Wow.
I'm not even gonna.
Wow.
I wouldn't even rewatch it before
That's
the second
amazing.
season.
But you will watch the
because
second
I don't.
season.
I don't. Here's why. Aside from many things, one of the things is I don't want to see the disintegrating fox and the maggots and that whole montage over and over again that I know is just cheap and stupid. Not only that, I don't want to experience Girardi. I don't want to experience any of the unpleasantness of that show ever again.
That's a
And
that's a crazy thing because most people that I know, opposite of Discovery, are like you. Like they hate. I'm like the minority in that one. I'm like the extreme minority. I love it. I think it's an amazing series, but whatever.
it is unwatchable.
Wow.
I tried to do.
I beg to
rewatch
differ.
it,
I beg to differ.
I got to the point where they put the bag over Daj's. Is it Daj first?
Yeah.
They put the
Dash.
bag over Daj's head.
Dash.
Dash.
Dash. Sabotage. Dash.
And the guy goes, "Oh, she's activated," and it's like she does the thing, and then I'm like, and she sees the vision of Picard and it's a shot of him being prepared for the interview that he hasn't done yet. So how could she see that? And it's like, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. Turn it off. Just turn it off. I don't want to. I don't want to put myself through that stuff. I don't want to suffer anymore. I don't really want to fight no more. I watched What's Love Got to Do with It?
Oh, such a good movie. Angela Bassett, right?
Yeah. And then I wanted to watch some more Angela Bassett, so I watched Waiting to Exhale for the First Time.
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen. Is that that's Whitney Houston, right?
Whitney Houston and Angela Bassett.
Oh, I never saw that. That's the song. That's the movie where the song "Shoop" comes from. I know the song. I love the song "Shoop."
Everyone
Yeah,
falls in love
yeah.
sometimes. Sometimes it's wrong.
Or is the movie
Sometimes
"Shoop"
it's
where the
right.
song "Shoop" comes from? Like, is there a movie called "Shoop"?
Hey, shoop, shoop,
That is
shoop,
it. That's
shoop,
it.
doop.
That's so funny.
That's the chorus of the song.
I
Yeah,
remember that. That
Whitney
was
Houston.
what year was that, PJ?
Jesus, 95, I think.
Shit, it's a long time ago. That's crazy. Oh, I miss Whitney Houston. Now I'm gonna have to go listen to Whitney Houston. Have you seen Superman Lois? I'm gonna watch that after we
Yes, I did see
finish.
the latest episode. It's
Just non-spoiler reaction to it, if you don't mind.
it's good. It's
Okay.
better than the last episode. I know that.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
The last episode to me was a bit of a dud.
All right. All
I
right.
think it was the only like episode where I was like, eh. But yeah, it's still going strong, and it's getting really a lot of twists and turns. A lot
Mm.
of something that's a big revelation actually.
Mm.
And I'm impressed with the way they write the brothers, and the way they write that family.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm really
they're a
enjoying.
cool
That.
fucking
Yeah.
family, dude.
They are a cool, really cool family.
They're like the type of family I want for my neighbors.
I really thought you were gonna be like, that I want for myself.
Um, there is that stupid thing where people don't see Clark as Superman, like they don't see the resemblance even when they're close up with both of them
Yeah, but that's
at
like
different
baked
times.
in. That's like grandfathered in traditional
I
Superman
know they
thing. Yeah,
yeah, it's weird.
he creates a he naturally creates a field when he's Clark.
That's why I always think you should take, and they actually are with the new Superman. They're making it a period piece again. If you can take it back to a time where they don't have like facial recognition and that people couldn't zoom in with
Oh, I
like
see what you're
a
talking
16
about.
time
I get
digital
you.
zoom to catch your image and all this stuff. Because in modern day, if you examined the face of Superman in any degree, you could simply fucking match it to, the public IDs, right?
Did you hear that was it might have been 60 Minutes. It was either 60 Minutes or NPR where actually that technology is under scrutiny now because apparently there you have on the whole entire planet you have facially 7 almost identical twins of your face on the planet at any given time.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to, but it is possible to have your identity mistaken where the technology can't tell, where you need someone to analyze it, like actually like investigate, because
Oh yeah.
your face might be too close to another person's face. So I can kind of see how like that technology could be flawed for many many years.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And Clark,
In movies, it's always like super accurate. Like
yeah, but
they
it's not that
they
way.
had like 10 years ago they had like 8K cameras, like zoom in and enhance, and it's like zooming in on like a wide image to a face like really close and then
Yeah.
getting crisp detail, which actually is something that we're getting closer and closer to.
The
It's
Germans
just
have
that
a word
we're
for
not
it. I
there.
just realized doppelganger. You have doppelgangers, at least 7 of them, on planet Earth. Every human.
Yeah, people mistake me for Christian Bale all the time.
I saw my doppelganger in real life. I met him at the Apple store, and I saw him when I was a kid. on TV. How crazy is that?
I have a friend who looks just like this guy who lives around who I've seen, and I was sure it was my friend, right? And when I got close enough, I was like, no, he's like an inch shorter, so that doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Just an inch shorter, but looks just like him. It's fucking. It was freaky. And I recently connected with this friend, and one of the first things he mentions to me is, I have a doppelganger. I said, what do you mean? I was like, my ears perked up, right? He's like, yeah, people have said there's this guy around who looks just like me. I was like, I think I've seen him. He's like, you fucking serious? I'm like, yeah, he's like a tiny bit shorter than you. He's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm like, he kind of dresses like you. It's the same hair, same facial hair, everything. It's crazy. It's crazy. One guy said, "Is your girlfriend so and so?" One time, he thought it was somebody else, and I said, "No, no, I have a girlfriend." And he goes, "Oh, I was gonna say because he had something going on with him and her or something, or like she was messaging him." He's like, "Oh, good man, I thought your girl was messaging me." I was like, okay." And I was like, "Who's this guy that I look like?" And he showed me on Facebook,
Whoa.
and he's some fucking butt ugly dude. And I'm
Whoa.
like, oh, that hurts.
Oh, I can confirm that you're not ugly.
It's like some fucking like I mean I hate to bad judge someone, but this guy looked like a scumbag anyway. And I'm sure the guy, if the guy's girl was messaging this guy who was talking to me, then they weren't in a friendly camp. And I was like, this dude looks nothing like me. He's like, no man, he looks just like you. I was like, I felt like punching this guy in the fucking face just for saying that. Like, you look just like him. I'm like, he looks like a fuck. He looks like he doesn't look. He's not pretty like me.
Well, so many people want to punch that computer that, you know, put them in jail when it should have been someone else.
I mean, how often does that? I mean, they can't go on like blurry facial recognition alone. There would have to be some kind of investigation. What kind of fucking law enforcement is that? Where it's just like, yeah, the computer told us this is your face. End of story.
It would be really funny. So I finally I went ahead and did a little more research into the Eternals, and I think it's cooler than the trailer. I didn't get a
It's
lot
not
of
a trailer. It's a tease.
whatever the teaser. Yeah, it's like a 2-minute tease though. What happened to
It
teasers
really
being 30 seconds?
It really is. They're not showing anything. They're just giving you a sense of the atmosphere of the film. They're not telling you any. They're not really giving you any story details. It's kind of like you get the gist that it's like it's happening over time. It's a group of godlike people.
There's a lot of people who've read all the comics though, and they have like a lot of cool ideas about what might be going on in this version of the Eternals.
So do you think we're gonna get that Star Trek movie in 2023?
No.
No.
Maybe 2024.
Maybe never.
No, I think I think it's going to be delayed till 2024. Watch tomorrow. A press release is going to come out that says, "On track. We are now started greenlit project." Do you know that they actually pick a script or anything? Like the last thing I saw on StarTrek.com was they said we have no. It literally said. I'm paraphrasing, but it literally said we have no idea what it's about, but there's going to be a Star Trek movie that comes out in 2023.
It's written by one of the Discovery writers.
Yeah.
Her name is Vasquez.
Yeah, that I know. Or it's going to be written by her. Maybe she hasn't written it.
This is why I think season 4 of Discovery will lead into a film.
Hmm.
Nobody really has said that, but I'm the only one who's saying it here now.
All right.
It's going to be a Discovery film, and it's going to do nothing in the box office. Nobody will see it.
No, it's not. I don't think it's going to. I don't think they would take a risk like that. But we'll see. Maybe they would.
No, not a Discovery theatrical. What you need to do is, and I've said this for the longest time, you have one last chance, Paramount, to get a post Nemesis, post Picard film in the theaters with as many legacy characters as you could smash in there for as best you can, like without being too fucking convoluted or whatever. You know what I mean? Put Worf in there, put fucking Janeway in there, fucking Cisco, and fucking Riker or whoever. Get them all together.
They already took, but what the problem is they're always trying to up the ante on the destruction level. And do you think they'll actually do like a story that doesn't involve like the eradication of all sentient life in the galaxy or the universe or whatever? That's what's boring me and tiring me of it. Like I'm just like, let's move past that. I hope they do it. They deserve a good sign off. I think Picard's gonna be their swan, like their last adventure, and that's gonna be it.
Well, season 3.
Yeah, whenever it ends, I think we'll get like
I think they're
a
gonna end
cap
at
to
3.
that story. Yeah,
I
I
think
think we'll
that's
get
why
all
that's
of
why
our
they're doing 2 and 3 back to back or at the same time.
yeah. But if they do a TNG film, I will be both surprised and delighted. It will it will be my jam. It'll be all I think about
I
when
mean, I
we're
mean,
if they do it.
would it not? If you're gonna, okay, say you had Nemesis, that's over, done with. TNG crew done, good. Okay, whatever. We're gonna reboot it now with the JJ stuff. Okay, that's done and over with. Let's go back to making a sequel to our original line of films and have it be about the new crew of the Enterprise. You could hire a bunch of new people and not pay them a lot. It's true. And you could still have the legacy characters be there. You know what I mean? In some way, in some form, or like just the daughters of like Keiko and O'Brien's daughter Molly could be a main character. Something. You know what I mean? Just but have it be Enterprise. What is it? Enterprise F, I guess it would be.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe we'll see that in
A-
Picard.
and a new like adventure, like in that sense. And you could
Um,
introduce that in Picard. Yeah, you could.
I think I I think we're probably gonna get a um. I think that would be very nice. I hope we get that, but I think we're probably gonna get a probably something entirely new. We'll see. I think your Discovery idea is the one that makes the most sense.
Yeah, but the bankability of that is
Again, I don't know. Based on what everyone's saying online, again, it all comes from Paramount. These shows seem to be successful, especially Discovery. They keep greenlighting more. What would you say if it was a Strange New Worlds film instead?
Jesus. They would have to have a hell of a lot of confidence in season 1. Then that's not even
Not
finished
even
filming.
on. Yeah, it's true.
Now,
What
who knows
about a
what it could be? It could
film?
be about the Enterprise C. It could be about the
Yeah.
Romulan War. It could involve another cool fucking thing they could do. You probably won't like it, but a film that involves the crew of Enterprise
No, actually,
on one last hurrah.
I actually would like that. I think that they deserve even like
And
a
can I just tell you why that particular idea might be bankable to a degree? And yes, you have people who don't like Enterprise, but
I didn't like
every
it
Star
as of
Trek
now.
fan would see that, regardless. I think not, pretty much everyone. And Scott Bakula is huge. He's like he's a. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, no, I was saying
Something popped up in my screen
uh
for some reason from StreamYard. I don't know what happened.
that's weird.
Uh, but what I forget what show he's in.
It's like CSI or something, right? Isn't it?
Yeah,
Like
he,
um
he he is huge with a certain older demographic. So I guarantee you, if there ever was a Scott Bakula led Star Trek film in 2023, like one last hurrah type thing, you would see a lot of
yeah,
older
maybe he
people in
doesn't
the
want
audience just for him. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
Maybe he doesn't want to do I was actually like after seeing season 4 of Enterprise, which I enjoyed very much, finally seeing it. I was like actually mad that the show didn't go on. So I would really enjoy um an Enterprise film. That would be pretty cool.
And it wouldn't necessarily have to be. Well, there would not be a ship called Enterprise, correct? Like, how long did that go on before?
Well, no, they actually. I think the intention, from what I can glean, was that they were going to add a secondary hull to it,
Hmm.
and make it look more like the design that we later see um, with the Constitution class. So it could take place somewhere in that time, but and a lot of people are hoping that if they do an Enterprise film, that it could address this Romulan war.
War, yeah.
Yeah,
Which has been like that has been talked about before.
yeah.
What about a movie about Captain Robert April?
I would, I personally would adore it, and that would be amazing. I
You
think.
like one little thing where you could see at least what Robert April was like on the Enterprise, like the very first, because you know,
Not only that, you could tell the story of the building of like technically, what if Robert April was around from when it got built? Like it could be a very
yeah, Jesus,
like
that could be cool.
we've never seen that. Like the Enterprise just already existed. It already had a previous captain. Like when
And
Star Trek began, it
and
started
I
just
swear
like
to God,
that.
if they make it so that it's like built on the ground in Ohio or something, Idaho or something, like no, it's built in space, people.
Yeah, it's true. That was the thing that was weird. That was one of the things that, oh, I mean, it doesn't bother me anymore again because it's the Kelvin timeline, but I was just like, what happened in the Kelvin timeline that the Enterprise didn't get built until like Pike, Like cuz I remember, you know, growing up always remembering, and Robert April's now canon because they mention him
Mm.
in the not only the animated series but also in Discovery.
That
Um,
was a real bothersome thing back then. I remember like people were like, "What the fuck?" Like they were yeah, but then the excuse was like, "Oh, it's a different timeline, so things didn't happen the same way." It's like, okay, whatever.
yeah, yeah, that's ultimately how you. But it was weird that like that timeline that shows you that it is another universe because things are totally different when you really look at it. It's not
Mm.
like how the story like well first of all obviously Kirk being born in space like we all know Captain Kirk was so if it's a parallel world because of the Narada, it really does fuck up everything in that universe when the Narada arrives, I guess, because whatever originally happened, Kirk should have been born in Riverside, Iowa, on Earth.
Yeah, but I'd like the Captain April idea.
Yeah, me too. I think that would
It
be
would
great.
it would be in the vein of what they're doing now with like okay, I would like to see before Pike like what it looked like. There would be a slight redesign, and I'd like to see it get really messed up. Or even in Strange New Worlds, at some point like the ship just gets redesigned over time and looks more in line with the original Connie.
Yeah, that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna do that regardless. Like, I mean, it is a stretch. Again, it's exhausting to think of it, but it's not unimaginable that the Enterprise, like had slanted pylons and then, like the pylons became straight for whatever reason because it's better with that engine design or whatever with the nacelle design or whatever. So
I
we
think we're not going to get Discovery in season 4 this year.
you don't think so?
No, no. I
Didn't they
think
say in
they
the
did say
official
yes.
thing
What they've
that we'll get
said
like a
before, it will have. They've promised dates before that haven't worked out.
hmm,
Just because, yes, they do have like a trailer that was made up of very early stuff that they filmed, but uh, we still haven't seen anything from Prodigy. And it's got to be either Discovery or Prodigy. I'm thinking like if we don't get some kind of trailer for Prodigy in the summer, then it's safe to assume that it's not going to be out
I think we'll get
this
at
year.
least the not pilot, the I think we'll get at least one or two or maybe even three episodes of Discovery.
And like I said, starting August 12th, you go 20 weeks, then you only have 1 week left in the year, and there's supposed to be 3 shows, and only 2 can air in the year after August 12th. So one has to be pushed, unless they're going to surprise us and have them overlap, or have one come early or something.
It could be.
Wouldn't it be crazy if, like a week from now, like Prodigy coming July something, or like June something? You're like, whoa, what? That would be that would be a nice surprise.
That would be a very nice
Because
surprise.
they don't really, for kids shows, if you think about it, they don't really have to, or they don't tend to put out the promotional material like they do with other shows, like months or weeks in advance. They kind of just like, and people have pointed out Lower Decks also kind of, that trailer came quick, only like 6 weeks before the show came out or something. I think it was something like that, or 2 months. I don't know, something like that. But yeah. Anyway, we're gonna have Lower Decks season 3 as well,
Yeah,
and
it's crazy.
season 2 of Prodigy is already being worked on as well, which is all good. We're gonna have 5 shows in rotation, people. Which one has to go? We've already guaranteed 2 more seasons of Picard. So it's
Did
a
you
good.
see
I'd like
John?
to. I'd like. Oh yeah, John Delancey. Go ahead.
Oh, he just no. He was just he posted this thing that was Spider-Man in a Star Wars box, a toy Spider-Man in a Star Wars box with Picard's face, and it says Gandalf on it, which is really funny.
Wouldn't it be amazing if Ian McKellen showed up in Picard season 2
Oh,
as
I
a
would love
character?
that too. Yeah, that would be great.
That'd be better than Cronenberg in season 3.
I wouldn't mind if Ian McKellen played Maurice Picard in flashbacks. It'd be cool to see him play like Picard's dad. That would be a really fun thing,
Jesus, that's great. Yeah.
right? Like he could do it, I think.
Hmm.
Or he could even be like the ghost of Robert Picard, which is who has appeared on Starfleet Boy After Dark.
Oh my god.
Jean-Luc. They made you soft. You pathetic thing. Eating replicated food. Oh,
Sacre bleu.
sacre bleu. Wow, we've been streaming for nearly 2 hours.
Two and a
It's
half
like an
hour.
after
2.5
dark.
hours. Yeah, it's crazy. All right, we're gonna end it there, folks. And Blue
Thanks, PJ.
can't wait till Starfleet Boy After Dark, so she can hear about Lois and what is it, Superman and
Superman and
Lois.
Lois, yeah.
All right, until next time, folks. Live long and prosper.
See.